What's going on, everybody? My name is Jordan. I've been sim racing for about 3 years. About a year ago, I sold my rig on Marketplace. It was a Track Racer TR80, Fanatec CSL, DD 8 Nm, V3 pedals, you know, all the good stuff, triple monitors. I sold that. Price was right on Facebook Marketplace. Got that sold. Thought I was done with the hobby. Turns out, had a guy reach out to me, wanted me to build him a rig. I went down, built him a rig, and got bit by the bug again. So here I am, back in sim racing. I had a Logitech G920 in the upstairs of my garage, so I thought, what the heck, let's get it out, let's give it a go, let's see what we can do. And that's when I came up with this challenge. My challenge is that I'm going to use the Logitech G920 until I reach the 2.5K iRating. I won't buy any equipment until I've hit that 2.5 iRating. And the license that we're specifically talking about is my favorite license. That's going to be the sports car road license. Probably the most popular license on iRacing in my opinion. NASCAR is probably pretty popular, but sports car racing definitely super popular on iRacing. So let's crack on with it, see where we can go. It's going to be a fun journey. At the moment, we're sitting at a C-class license, which is okay. It gives us a little bit more opportunity for different races. And our iRating is currently 1.3, and I believe the exact number is 1345. So let's crack on, see how far we can get. It would be awesome if you could join in, follow along, give me your feedback. I know my driving probably not the best, but hey, I'm in for anybody's feedback. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the video, and there'll be plenty more to come.
Alright, so here we are, first race of the challenge. We are starting with a 1.3K iRating. We did qualify 5th for this race. This is a pretty intense strength of field here. I believe it is a 2.5K. So qualifying 5th, we're feeling pretty good about it. We did qualify with a 134.052 and the leaders at a 132.5, so we're quite a bit behind on pace, 1.5 seconds. Either way, let's get on with it, see how it goes. And here we go. We're gonna make second to last corner here, get the green flag. We are starting in P5. Catch a little bit too much of the curb there. It's going to cost us a little bit in the straight here, but we're going to stay in P5, run down to turn 1, and we're off clean. But the clean racing isn't going to last long. You see these two guys are rubbing each other here. Coming down into turn 3, we got this white car coming up hard on the left. We're going to pinch down. The car next to us, that white car there, didn't catch us. We did take a little bit of the curb to try to get out of the way. We come sliding back across, and we get T-boned by the green car. Not really much we could do in the way of getting out of the way of that one. We do have some serious tire damage. I believe we try to take it up here to the corner, but unfortunately, we get the meatball. We're not going to get a repair on this one. We're actually going to spin out again in this corner, and we're going to have to take a tow. So we're off to a really poor start here with this challenge. I guess we have to go backwards before we're going to go forwards on pursuing the 2.5K. So I've waited my tow timer. I did have a fast repair in this session, and somehow or another taking tires got clicked again on my pit board, and I went back and looked at the recording, and I did turn them off at the beginning of the race. So unfortunately, we did have to take a set of tires. That did cost us an extra 30 seconds, I believe, with this car is usually how long it takes. So that's going to put us even further back. Not looking good for this one. We're going to get back out on the track and try to claim as many positions as we can to not lose as much iRating. We did come through here, take the checkered flag in P11 after all that drama. I'm pretty happy with that, considering the circumstances at the beginning of the race. There was a little bit of an interesting situation there at the end of the race where I got hit by another driver trying to get a position, so I'm going to lose some safety rating for that. But being the first race of this challenge, I expected nothing more than complete and utter defeat, and that is exactly what happened. This was a quick race, in and out. I needed to finish it though, because you had to salvage as much iRating as you can. You don't want to just quit, and that's what we did. So let's move on. Let's check out the stats at the end of the race here and get a good look. Alright, so we did start the session with an iRating of 1348. We did get a minus 25 and oof on the safety rating. We got hammered that whole race, but we're going to give it another try and try to get some positives. We're not too far down at this point. We're still in the 1300s, but we all know that goal is 2.5k. Alright, here we are, race 2, after losing 26 iRating in the first race, which wasn't considered to be that bad considering the situation we were dealt at the very beginning of the race there, but was a higher strength of field. This strength of field, a little bit lower. We did qualify P3 here behind Dale and Chandler with a 133.806, so we should be pretty competitive in this race. Alright, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park coming in to take the green flag on the second race of the race to 2.5k on the Logitech G920. Going in the final corner here, going to make the corner, take the green flag. Down the start stretch into turn 1, gonna go in there pretty much with no drama, but just as we come out of turn 1 here, we're gonna have a spinning beamer slamming into the wall. Luckily, a class leader and second and third place miss the accident, and we are going strong. We had some really good racing here these first couple laps. You can see we picked up a little bump there, but that's a 0x. You can see the front of the class here is pretty tight packed. We do have a mix of two slower beamers in the mix of us here. So we're coming down the long straight. Like I said, a lot of close racing. These guys are pretty much elbow out. Looks like we all had a pretty similar pace. I did drop a couple spots here from third, but we're going to see what we can do to get them back. Speed it up here as there was a lot of good racing right here in the first couple of laps. We give and take a couple positions here. A lot of close racing. I like that. Helps me work on a little bit of my skills. Got a little bit of a caution here. I think somebody went off track above, but you can see I kind of get pushed off there. I let them go and then they bunch up again. I think you got a couple of slower drivers here that were kind of slowing us up. I think it was that black car there. I take an off track there. And we're into the back straight here. But again, nice, good, close racing. Alright, so I've skipped ahead to the end of the race here. Lovely dashboard is telling me that I've underfueled the car, and so is Jim on the crew chief here. So I'm trying to go with a little bit of strategy. It's looking like I'm going to have one more lap until the white flag. So at this moment in time, I'm thinking that I'm going to pit here. I do have a 14.3 second lead over fourth place. So I'm sitting in third. I got a 14.3 second lead over second. I want to take fuel because, again, tools I have at my disposal are telling me I have underfueled the car. But what you're going to see happen is I dip into pit lane here. I overslow the car before pit lane, unfortunately, but I've got it on the pit limiter. We're going down. Obviously, they're gaining on us. We hit the white flag with 1 minute and 12 seconds left. So it had to do with where that beamer was in line here. So we kind of screwed ourselves out of iRating here. Unfortunately, we were on a plus 61. We dropped down to a plus 30 on our iRating. So unfortunately, we take a big L here. We're listening to crew chief and lovely dashboard. Sometimes in this situation, you're going with a plus 61. You run through that start finish line, and worst case scenario, you take that fuel at the checkered flag and see if you can make it there. So big mistake by me, does cost the iRating, but I can guarantee I won't underfuel the car again. So there we have it. Coming into the final corner, we do take P5 in this race. We did deserve the P3. Unfortunately, again, the tools at our disposal, they didn't lie to us. Technically, by the time left on the clock, we did only have that much fuel. However, with it being multi-class, I think it was a little bit screwed up. But either way, positive iRating. We're headed to the next race. So there it is, positive safety rating with a 0.13 and a positive iRating to plus 38. We are back to a 1361. So everything we lost in race 1, we have gained back in race 2. That is a great feeling. Plus 38, that's huge, but that should have been plus 61, guys. How incredible that would have been. In the third race in our journey to the 2.5K iRating. We are still in the Toyota GR86 at the Production Car Challenge, and this is the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. We do stack up a little better with the strength of field. Last race, we underfueled the car, and that cost us 2 places on the grid and probably 30 iRating. So this time around, we're going to make sure we fuel the car well, and we're going to get on with it. Like I said, we do stack up better with this strength of field. As far as our iRating goes, that just means we're going to be rewarded less in the end. So we have qualified P3, and these are 2 guys in front of us we have raced against in other sessions. So we're going to get on with it. We're going to see where this race ends up. And here we go. This is the second race in a row that I've seen where the front 2 drivers don't leave a gap between us and the BMWs, and I believe that does come back to haunt this guy on the first lap. I don't remember exactly. There's definitely a pile up on the first lap. Anyways, we're going to skip through the formation lap and get us to a green flag here. And here we go, coming into the final corner. Going to take the green flag here. See, we fell into formation nice. We got a good gap on the cars behind us. We fall into P3 here where we qualified. You're going to see a BMW take the corner wide here, go outside. This is going to be the first bit of drama. He's going to go out. He's going to hit the wall. And we're going to stay right in the throttle, fall in behind these guys. Now we're making our way down to turn 3. As you can see, falling into formation. We're a little late on the brakes here. Come up in. Got a BMW sliding. P1 and P2 collide. P2 stays right in front of me. I pick up a 4X there. Somehow P1 stays out of bigger trouble. Stays on the track. And we fall back into the 1-2 positions here. After that bit of drama, we do land in P2. We're following P1 here. You can see he's going to open a gap here pretty quick. This guy had quite a bit more pace than we did. I believe he was in the 132s very quickly. It took me pretty much the whole race to get in the 132s. So lacking a little bit of pace on P1 here. Either way, we do salvage the position. We stay where we're at, and we finish on a high note. Alright, so we are a couple laps later. You can see he has opened up quite a gap on us here. We're coming into this corner here. We hit the braking zone a little too high. We do get up on the curve, and it does spin us around. So here we are into the grass. We do have a Mazda coming up behind us. We're going to make a nice, safe re-entry. That Mazda is going to go around us to the left into the long straight. We do have a big gap behind us too. There's no pressure in this situation, and we're going to race on. But we do have a situation coming up towards the end of the race that I'm going to find very interesting. So here we are a couple laps later. We are making the final turn into the start-finish straight. And Jim's going to tell us over the radio that we got a car entering from pit road. So I'm like, okay, lapped car. That's fine. You can see when we make the corner here, he is a little bit out in front of us. And this is only when it starts to get interesting. So we're going to be gaining on him for pretty much the whole lap. So So here we go. The chase is on. This is the same lap right after he comes out of the pits. We slowly catch him through this section, but here in the straight we really start to catch him. And then ultimately in the final corner is where we really catch him. So right here is where we really come up on him. Now this guy is a lap down at least. And he goes elbows out immediately. And I'm like, oh crap. So I take the outside. Going around the edge. I know he's still there. Okay, yep, still there. Okay, perfect. I come in behind him. He's slow. He's slow on exit. So I go up the left side. I come off the pedal there. We start to slide there. He's hard on the brakes. Okay. I go down the center. I miss something. I don't know what happened. I never actually hit him, but the car, like the back end, locked up right on the corner there. So I'm trying to drive it right now. You can see I mess with it a little bit. I'm shifting it. I'm trying to get it to move. I'm on the gas pedal. It's not going anywhere. I'm on a white flag here. So I'm like, what is this going to do? If I hold to reset, is it going to kick me? Lucky for me, everybody else had already gotten the white flag the lap before. So I crossed the line with the same number of laps as they did. So therefore, somehow, I was able to keep my position. So we were able to get out of this race, luckily. And after that race, with a lucky turn of events, we were able to get out of there with a plus 61 iRating and a little bit of safety rating there. But plus 61, we are happy with that.
Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this video. As you can see, we started with a 1345 iRating and now we're at the 1422. That's the change of plus 77. Production car challenge. It's a ton of fun. It's very rewarding. It can be very chaotic as well. Toyota GR86, ton of fun to drive. Has about the same pace as the Mazda. A little bit better in the corners in the Mazda. Mazda's much faster in the straights. Next week, we're probably going to try a different series. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all your support. That's the best way to stay up on top of my progress from 1300 iRating to 2500 iRating. We know that the challenge is to hit that 2500 before we buy any gear. Let's get there. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.